Well, I grew up with the definition of science being the study of the natural world using the five senses. Basically, if you can see it, smell it, taste it, hear it, or touch it, then it's science. You can actually probe those things with science. Um, that then puts some severe limitations on science. If you can't use your five senses to detect something, then it really isn't science. And that opens up a huge limitation, because if something's spiritual, for instance, you can't do those five things. It's not repeatable in that sense. And some people would want to today go into this thing we call scientism or naturalism, where they believe that science can lead you to all truth and only truth through that. And that's kind of a really well hidden implicit assumption of naturalism, that there is no such thing as supernatural. But even with humans, there are certain things we believe in which are not scientific. Love is not scientific. You can't hear it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it. Yet I don't think anybody out there doubts its reality. And so science cannot do everything, and I think it's a real problem today. We need to get back to the basic definition of science. Sometimes today people want to say it's the search for natural explanations. That is even more explicit in trying to deny the reality of the spiritual world and deny that we have a creator. And I think the history of science would tell us that that's nonsense. Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists who ever lived, and who literally wrote the book on physics, astronomy, and higher mathematics such as calculus, he very much believed in a creator. And in fact, in Principia, he talked about the fact that the study of our creator is part of the world of science. A theory is greatly misunderstood by people. They think a theory is kind of a guess or a wild shot at something, but really that's more appropriate to what we call an hypothesis. That's a guess about something. A theory is a well-developed idea. We have the theory of gravity. We have several theories of gravity, actually. We have Newton's theory of physics, dealing with the three laws and so forth, very well developed. We even have a theory of music. It's called music theory. If you've studied music, you learn about intonation and time signatures and all this sort of beat and these sorts of things. That's theory of what makes of music work. It doesn't mean that it's not true. It just means it's useful. And I think in science we're doing the same thing. We have different ways of looking at the natural world, and those theories may be true, they may not be true. But many times people want to confuse, they say something's theory as opposed to fact, and it really isn't. We use facts to support a theory.